All right, so welcome to another episode. Today we're going to take a look at Pinterest and we're going to see how that stock is doing and performing here after earnings. So we're going to chat a little bit about that. Thank you so much for joining me. Keep in mind, it's not a recommendation to buy, sell, or trade the stock, just my opinion. But if you do want to grab my opinion, you can check out our Discord channel as well, or visit our website. If you go to tradersfly.com, you can sign up to the Discord channel here with a pop-up that's probably going to come up and so forth. All right, so to kick things off, Pinterest recently had earnings right here. So you can see the stock is up right about 5 to 6% right now. And when you take a look at just, the forecast here, it says jumps more than 25% on earnings. Well, this kind of usually is after hours stuff, and after hours is not always it's not always a huge indication of how that stock will perform throughout the day. And really, a lot of the news there likes to pump a lot of that stuff, because looking at the longer term trend, it still has been going downside. So if you get one day pop and then the rest of it keeps going down, it really doesn't matter in that regard. So anyway, so as we check out this stock and we kind of look at it from a technical perspective, on today's basis, we are up about 5%. But look, we were kind of heading down and then you get this spike and all of a sudden it's like, oh, everything's good and rosy and great, right? No, but that's not the case. So if we look at just the past performance here recently of the stock, it's actually on a downward trend. It's been kind of doing that. A lot of the social media stocks have been weak here. If you look at Facebook with the earnings, obviously Snap and Twitter and Pinterest are not Facebook, but Facebook had a nasty move here down. I think Zuckerberg lost $10 billion or so. So, but here you can see even on Snap, a lot of them were talking about, it shows it's weathering different things. It's not like a Facebook, it's different. So they're trying to kind of distance themselves from those problems. But if you look at Pinterest in general, and you see what's going on, we're still kind of on a downward trend. So if we look at just this weekly, we're still on a downward trend. So this one day doesn't change much. You're still kind of going there. What you need to see is kind of consolidation back above this 30 would be nice at this point. You still have resistance here from past, and this is actually being broken. So from past resistance, now this is support. We have a bearish volume coming in. So it's not even something I would really nibble on right now. It's not even a nibbling opportunity yet until this starts to digest kind of beyond a certain moving average here. Like you could take your pick, a 21, a 10 day, something like that. And then you might see some kind of maybe nibbling opportunity. But until that point, the stock's still in a downward trend. And I don't think it would be a buy the dip, opportunity or anything. We have pulled off the highs quite a bit. So it's about 71% down on the stock. So it almost reached 100. It was about $89 a share. And since that time in 2021, what was this? This was February. A year later, we're down 70%. So that's huge. And I know a lot of people would be fascinated to buy it and be like, hey, it's a good spot. It's a good value. Yeah, it could be, but right now is not the time. You didn't miss anything. If you get in it, in a couple weeks, in a month, you're not going to miss anything. So wait for those opportunities to digest when it starts kind of grinding back to the upside. And then you got a much bigger move rather than trying to kind of catch it right here on these moves where it's trying to pop, but then it just rolls over. So be careful here on stuff like this where the news makes it seem much more bullish or very positive than it really is. It reported some earnings. The market right now, it's still got some earthquakes and trembles that are happening. So I would just be careful and cautious with what you're doing. You want to see a little bit of a round and a few and handful days of upside before you really look to get into something like this. For a long investment. So that's kind of just my take on it. Pinterest was doing really well for us from a traffic standpoint in the past year. And I think actually after our traffic started to go down, this is exactly the same time when the stock started to roll over. So for my websites, basically we're taking things from Pinterest and creating pins and bringing in traffic, but actually it's been going down and it kind of caters the same with the stock. So I don't know what they're doing from a big changes perspective, but it's not panning out in the stock price or actually my websites as well. So anyway, stock overall, I wouldn't even say it's a nibbling opportunity yet. I know it's kind of like a dry review of it. It's just not there yet. It's not a huge pop. You want to see that rounding. You want to see a nice break of this trend. You want to see a nice big bullish bar. You're not even seeing that. You want to see bullish volume coming in. There's a lot of volume, but it's not necessarily like really going to move the stock in one day. One day doesn't change anything. So be patient, let things set up, and then maybe you could get into the stock. So that's just my personal take. Don't let the news suck you in from thinking that, oh, it's all of a sudden everything's great because of the earnings. It's not a Facebook. It didn't drop that much. It's still holding its own. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of playing around between that 5, 6, 7%. We'll see how it handles things over the next week. That's really what you want to watch. So thank you for joining me. Feel free to check out the Traders Fly channel if you're trading options. And if you want to see us on Discord, then check the description below. Thanks. I'll see you next time.